Howdy, brothers, and greetings from Texas. Thank you for taking time to join us for the Impetus of Prospecting, our first of the Smart Webinar series. My name is Hector Montalvo. Just to offer you some background on myself, about 7 years ago, I met with a friend of mine who is a licensed insurance agent. I purchased a term policy at the time, and just a few short years later, I'm diagnosed with stage 3 testicular carcinoma. 2 surgeries and 3 cycles of chemotherapy later, I'm blessed to say that I'm cancer free today. But for the immediate future, I became uninsurable. The thought of being underinsured and uninsurable really sparked an interest in joining the Knights of Columbus Field Force after being recruited by a Catholic friend. My experience as a field agent allowed me to view the insurance industry as an opportunity to connect with people. I've since parted ways with my position as a field agent to dedicate my time to creating a systematic approach to reaching our members so field agents such as yourself can leverage their time more effectively. Because I believe in Father McGivney's mission of protecting Catholic families, we created SmartCalls. What is SmartCalls? SmartCalls is a system, a process that assists field agents, their administrators, or appointment setters in becoming more efficient and effective simply by replacing the traditional way of reaching out to KC members. Historically, the definition of prospecting meant explorers would venture out into the wilderness in a certain region and search for gold. For you, as a field agent, this means you are searching your database for members that might be open to meeting with you to learn more about KC insurance as it relates to their needs and budget. The impetus of prospecting simply means the force or energy with which the process of prospecting actually occurs. Basically, we are replacing deficiencies with positive force and energy, which creates for us the path of least resistance. In layman's terms, because we now have an efficient process in which to reach our members, we can now afford to call and build rapport with every one of our members individually without the fear of wasted time and effort. As a participant in this webinar, we will create awareness in the mechanics of effective prospecting, peer into the stumbling blocks that hold appointment setters back, explore the SmartCalls Dialer with CRM program, a unique automated dialing system tool for efficient and effective prospecting sessions. We will be continuing the dialogue after the webinar in a Q&A session. Please be jotting down some questions you may have throughout this presentation and sit tight after the webinar concludes for participant questions. Let's talk about prospecting theory. It's unbelievable how much you don't know about the game you've been playing all your life. Arguably, Mantle was one of the best center fielders that ever played baseball. He was a threat both offensively and defensively throughout his Yankee career, largely because he was consistent. One can say that his professional success could be attributed to his relentlessness in learning the game at higher levels, regardless of whatever success he had already achieved. We too should always strive to learn more about the game we've chosen to play professionally. Insurance, like many other industries such as baseball, is a numbers game. You will either be successful on accident or on purpose. But the more intentional you are in the process, the higher the accolades you will achieve. Although your sales process has many elements within itself, such as calling the members, seeing the members, fact finding, presenting solutions, writing the application, collecting a premium, assisting with the underwriting process, and delivering the policy, We will focus in on the most valuable aspect of the selling process, and that is prospecting, calling the members. Because without prospecting, all the other aspects of the selling process cease to exist. Jeb Blunt, author of Fanatical Prospecting, states that the most valuable activity in the selling process is a set appointment. As a licensed agent, what are your professional goals? Using a baseball analogy, let's break down this question further. Let's assume your at bats represent the number of times you pick up your phone to call someone and ask for an appointment. In knowing this, how many times do you get up to bat? How many dials do you perform per day, week, month, or year? Let me ask you this. What is the goal for picking up the phone? Well, it's to get on base. Now that you've made several calls, you've managed to get on first base. You've managed to get an appointment. Getting to first base has earned you the right to perform a fact finder and continue building rapport with your prospect. Now it's important to maintain your composure and poise while you get to know your prospect. Rushing through your sales cycle could cost you the sale. So you've had a great first appointment with your prospect, and you have gathered important data that will allow you to offer a solution to their financial goals using a product you sell. And you make your way towards second base. Often the transition to second base reflects a second appointment, which will allow you to effectively present a solution. However, at times this could be done in conjunction with your first appointment. Now you head to third base. Your prospect has had time to consider your advice, and so your prospect will either take advantage of the wonderful product that you have offered or choose to pass on your solution to purchase the product. Assuming that your prospect has agreed to apply for insurance, you write the application. You will head down to home plate. Reaching home plate reflects the policy you have written has been released. Your efforts have paid off and you have scored a run. At first, it may seem as though we're playing the law of averages simply to get on first base. However, as time passes, applying our proven prospecting system, the calls you attempt will become more intentional and targeted. As a result, you will begin to get on base more and more often, even hitting doubles and triples, and at times home runs, which is the only goal for picking up the phone and asking for an appointment. The more at-bats you get, the more phone calls you make, the more chances you give yourself for reaching other aspects of the selling process. I get it. We've all been there. I know what it's like to suit up and wait eagerly for a chance to schedule an appointment, simply to strike out at the mount. A few common frustrations, a few strikeouts with picking up the phone could be no answer when you call, you reach a bad phone number, someone hangs up on you, or they do answer and their reply is, I'm not in the market. I'm all set. I don't need an annual review. Or I'm not interested. Or thanks for calling, but it's not the best time. Please call me back. Or they say, I'll call you right back. Why don't you email me and I'll get back to you sometime? Although having a systematic process to prospecting will not eliminate the common frustrations of picking up the phone, having an efficient process will pay off because it will allow these common frustrations to be addressed head on without losing your composure and poise, and will allow you a clear mind to receive these reactions from your members using an empathetic approach. This will allow you to keep the possibility open of one day meeting with even the most hardcore associate members. Now that we've established that your batting average, in other words, your phone call average, is the most important aspect of the selling process, let's create a process that will allow you to keep accurate account of your efforts. Keep in mind, it's not enough to simply have a process. You must also trust your process.
Meet the SmartCalls Dialer. We're an outbound dialing platform that streamlines repetitive tasks so field agents can focus on what matters, connecting with their members and setting more appointments. The SmartCalls Dialer offers a systematic approach to your prospecting efforts. The platform allows for 5 times the productivity, dialing up to 80 members per hour. With a touch of a button, you can access voicemail, emails, and filter out your contacts. Plus, we have designed a masterful foldering system that allows you to pick up right where you left off with any member. Let's dive in and get to know the SmartCalls Dialer a little better. Today, we have several new members to contact. You can use the council folder or a saved search to bring them up. Select them, and now you're ready to go. You make one call into the dialer bridge, and already you're dialing your first prospect. As you can see, all the contact information, call history, scripts, calendar, everything is at your fingertips. We have fully customized a set of buttons to make your prospecting experience efficient and effective. Looks like we've got Jeff's voicemail. One click drops your pre-recorded message, can send an email, set the status, and much more. And look, we're already on to Sam, and we get his voice message. With the SmartCalls Dialer Smart System, you don't even have to listen to the entire greeting or wait for the beep. Simply click on the voicemail disposition button and on to the next member on your call list. So Ken just picked up. You can hear him say hello and can start talking immediately. No pause, no awkward silence. Just the perfect opportunity to connect and build relationships with members. When the call with Ken is over, you can select from the custom buttons to disposition the calls. SmartCalls Dialer can instantly send out a trackable email, add notes, tag the contact, and even move them to a different folder, all with one click. Think of SmartCalls Dialer as your co-pilot. All of the critical steps of outreach are handled while you are focused on talking to prospects and creating possibilities. SmartCalls Dialer is cloud-based, so there's nothing to install, no special equipment needed, and you can use any phone, including software phones. With features like call recording, call transfer, local caller ID, email tracking, lead distribution, reporting, and analytics, agents and admins have all the tools they need to grow a more engaged and intentional member pipeline.
Thank you, Veronica, for guiding us through the dialer demonstration. We wanted to illustrate a good overview as to what the dialer can provide for your business. So now the call to action. Take the next step to transform your insurance practice and get in the driver's seat for optimal prospecting. With 3 easy steps, you can begin transforming your insurance practice today. The first step is to simply visit www.smartcallsdialer.com and complete the client information questionnaire and fulfill the initial setup fee. This will cover your database upload and your first month subscription access. The recurring billing cycle will begin at the end of the first month. Secondly, an onboarding specialist will contact you for some information we will need to prepare your council folders with your members. Lastly, using your dialer credentials, log into the SmartCalls Dialer to add your personal recorded voicemail and start a dial session. Full access subscription to the SmartCalls Dialer is only $145 per month following your initial setup. Our onboarding specialist will take care of uploading your entire database of council members into their specific folders for easy access. You will not have to manage this tedious task. We do it all for you. You will have customized emails and scripts already established for quick one-button actions. Once your setup is complete, we will email you your login credentials and you can begin using the dialer immediately. Our support team will be available to answer any questions and can assist you and your team in navigating through the system. Thank you so much for joining us today. We pray for your discernment and taking the next step in growing your business. At this time, we can answer any questions you might have.